Another Brick fan with a Stranger Things BrickHeadz set. This is Demogorgon and 11. This is set 40549, was released in February 2022, has 192 pieces, and cost about $20 when it was released. This is the first BrickHeadz set based on Stranger Things. It includes BrickHeadz number 156 and 157. I haven't watched Stranger Things, but this is a very interesting looking set, and I really like the Stranger Things Upside Down set also. Let's get this built and then we'll take a look at the finished BrickHeadz. So here we have the two BrickHeadz. This is 11, who is one of the children in the series. As I said, I'm not a Stranger Things fan, so I don't know a lot of the background behind these characters. But this is the Demogorgon, which is a demon of some kind from the Upside Down, the alternate world that these kids discover. I think it looks really good. Let's go ahead and take a look at these individually. So first off, here's 11, and I went ahead and put a picture of 11 from the series. I think they match up pretty good. The shirt and everything looks pretty close, and of course he has this short cropped hair. So the BrickHeadz seems pretty accurate to me. But taking a closer look here, this is a 1x2x2, so it's 2 bricks high piece here to show his shirt. And then there's a little bit of indication of a collar there with those 2 white pieces down here. Of course, the darker blue shirt blending into maybe pink pants. Looking over here, very short hair is represented by these studs and then the flat along the sides. Of course, he has an ear sticking out here that you normally see with BrickHeadz, the standard BrickHeadz hand here with just the clip piece. Back in the back, it's nice and smooth again with plates. And then the other side is the same. Both sides are built up the same. You can see that he is holding a waffle piece here. So I thought that was kind of nice to get that waffle piece. And then his feet are made up of the white, green, and tan down here. So overall, like I said, it does look like 11, albeit in BrickHeadz form. So nice and square, you know, no curves on this particular BrickHeadz. It's all very angular. Let's take a closer look at the Demogorgon. So just like with 11, I go ahead, the Demogorgon here you can see on the left from the series, or at least a representation of them. And it looks like they don't have any eyes. They just have this big mouth. And in the series, it can close up, which it sort of can do that here as well. So again, a decent representation of the Demogorgon. And I like how this is all put together. These, of course, are printed pieces. Everything in BrickHeadz seems to come as printed. It's very rare that you get a sticker with BrickHeadz. And this set has these printed pieces and then the printed shirt for 11. The Demogorgon is done in all this kind of tan color, or maybe this kind of nougat type color, which I think is pretty consistent. I mean, they looked more gray to me in the series itself. Like I said, I haven't watched too much of it, but just the pictures I saw, they looked more grayish. But this is kind of a nice color. You have the kind of ribs or exposed ribbing here that's done with a couple of ladder pieces. So that was a clever use of those pieces. On the side here, we do have the dual hands at the end. So 2 clip pieces. If you look closely, there is a little bit of the underlying structure showing through here on the corners just because of the way they built that. They used quite a few of these rail pieces around on the Demogorgon. You may have noticed that during the build, but that just kind of adds a little bit of texture. Both sides are done the same way. I like how the teeth are positioned right here, and that's just done with these rounded 1x2 pieces that have open holes on them so you can stick these teeth in there. You got to get those angled so they're all together. Overall, a kind of a fearsome looking BrickHead, and like I said, pretty accurate to the pictures I've seen from the series. Not being a fan, I probably don't appreciate these as much as I could. I think 11 is a pretty plain BrickHead. Has that nice print for that striped shirt that he's wearing, with presumably a blue jacket over the top of that. So I think that is represented well here. But it's a pretty straightforward BrickHead, not a lot of fancy stuff on it. The Demogorgon is actually a very interesting looking BrickHead, all because of the face, obviously. Everything else on the Demogorgon is that same coloring. But again, even though the coloring is not the same as I've seen in the pictures, it's still all this, having the one same color over the whole Demogorgon, I think still makes sense. And certainly that mouth that they built with those printed red tiles there looks really good. Go on to BrickHead value. So this is a $20 set with 192 pieces. So one of the rare BrickHead sets that's right at that 10 cent per piece. Normally it's a lot more pieces in these BrickHead sets, but there's not any real extensive hair builds, which tend to add a lot of pieces. And so BrickHeads are generally small pieces anyway, but this is right in the same price range as BrickHeads have always been. So it's $20 for 2 full-size BrickHeads. So looking at it that way, it is a very good value. This is a pretty nice little display set, especially if you're a fan of the series. There is potential for them to create some of the other characters from the series. We'll see if there's any more Stranger Things sets forthcoming. Hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on this BrickHead set. I'm going to get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to see more of my content. I've left a link to my BrickHeadz review playlist up here on the screen.